Today we are going to be looking at fertilizer application in young oil palm farm. Oil palm farm that are newly established within the range of the first year, second year, and third year. In essence, we are going to be looking at plantation that are newly established that have not started fruiting. How do you do your fertilizer application? The best type, the best time, the best rate, which is the quantity, and also the do's and don'ts in applying fertilizer to this kind of plantation. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this topic to us is because of its importance. Fertilizer application at this stage before your oil palm start fruiting is very, very critical and is going to have a long-lasting effect into when your oil palm plantation will produce and how they will be producing in the future. And also, it have a great impact on their survival, the mortality you will witness, and every other things like that. In case you are watching for the first time, this channel is dedicated to promote sustainable and profitable agriculture, and this is Nigerian #1 oil palm YouTube channel. So, without wasting much of your time, let's get to business. So, talking about the type of fertilizer that are meant for plantation within the age range of 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, plantation that have not started fruiting. Now, the best type of fertilizer you should be looking at is NPK. We call them compound fertilizer. NPK, particularly NPK 20-10-10. If you don't have access to NPK 20-10-10, you look for NPK 15-15-15. These are compound fertilizer comprising of all the essential macro elements. These are the elements that are required by your oil palm crop in large quantity. So when you are giving them this, you don't have to be bothering yourself, bothering your head on how to do mixing ratio, which eventually you might be getting it wrong. So this is the best fertilizer for you if your oil palm plantation is within the range of first year, second year, and the third year, they've not started fruiting. When your plantation or when your oil palms start fruiting, the type of fertilizer you'll be using will also change, which I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to make another video about fertilizer application in plantation that have started fruiting. So this is the type of fertilizer you should look at. Now, the timing of your fertilizer application. First thing I want to talk about here is that there is a common mistake among oil palm farmers and particularly among oil palm consultants, people who help farmers, who help people to set up plantation, because we have a whole lot of quack around who doesn't really know uh, the science behind oil palm plantation. They are just doing it just to keep themselves alive, which is good. I cannot condemn them. But one mistake is that immediately after planting your oil palm plantation, please don't put fertilizer immediately. Don't put fertilizer immediately. If you put fertilizer immediately, I can bet it with you that 90%, 90 to 100% of those fertilizer you are applying immediately after establishing your field, 90 to 100% of it will go to waste. Because oil palm, there's something we call planting shock. You are transplanting them from a bag, from a nursery bag. You are taking them from the nursery to the field. They need to settle down for at least a month, usually 2 months, but at least a month before they can get their root system on the ground. If your oil palm have not gotten their root system on the ground and you are applying fertilizer, those fertilizer will not be useful to them because the roots through which they will use to absorb are not ready established. So the timing, you must make sure you wait after 1 month of planting, at least after 1 month of planting your oil palm before you even think of applying fertilizer. So the next thing is that you must apply your fertilizer during the rainy season. When you know, okay, the rain is here and the rain is stable. You don't apply fertilizer during the dry season. If you apply fertilizer during the dry season or when the soil is dry, you stand a chance of two risks. You stand a chance of burning your fertilizer. It has the same effect of applying too much fertilizer. If you apply fertilizer to a dry soil or during the dry season, you may likely end up burning your plant or killing your plant because fertilizer are like salt. They like to absorb water before they dissolve. So that is about the timing. Now, We'll be talking about the rate, which is the quantity. Uh, it's very, very dicey and very, very technical. Many people avoid this topic, but I'm just going to give you a tip on how to go about the quantity or the rate at which you can apply to your young palm. Now, at the first year, at the first year, whenever you are doing blanket application, because we have two type of fertilizer application system. We have the blanket type and we have the soil test guided type. If you are not, if your fertilizer application or fertilizer formulation is not being guided by soil test, there's something we call blanket. And blanket, that's why we usually recommend NPK 2020 because it comprises the major nutrients your plant need. So you will not be going wrong. Now, at the first year, you are expected to apply at the rate of 200 gram per pound. 200 gram per pound, which is about 18 mic, not more than 18 mic of cup. You apply it per pound. When they are second year, you increase it a little bit. You increase to about 300 gram per pound. So when they are about third year, there's a high possibility that at the third year, they will be bringing out flower and they will start their first production. You also increase it to about 500 gram. Now, at the fourth year, they've already entered into the fruiting system. So the calculation will also change. The fertilizer type will also change, and the calculation and uh, the amount of fertilizer you're applying will also change. I will make an entire video for that. Now, but there is something you have to take note of in the quantity and the rate at which you apply. Now, if you know definitely that your soil is a sandy soil, it's very, very sandy. And you know, sandy soil don't have capability to hold water and hold fertilizer like that. So you have to do your fertilizer application twice in a year. Preferably, you have to do it in a split way. So if you want to apply 300 grams, for example, you divide it into two. So you apply one at the beginning of the rainy season. Towards the end of the rainy season, you apply the remaining one. So, and also when you notice that, okay, your farmland is a kind of slopy, because when you are farming on a slopy land, weather element like water will wash it away more often. So these are the ways by which you can retain fertilizer on your farmland by doing split application. And lastly but not the least, things you must avoid when you are applying fertilizer on your new or young oil palm farm. The first thing is that don't apply excess. Now, don't apply excess. When I was talking about the quantity or the rate, you know, we are talking about grams. Grams they are not so much. So when the oil palm are still at this stage, we are talking about grams. It's only when your oil palm have entered the fruiting stage fully, about 4 years, 5 years ahead. That is when we'll be talking about kilograms. We'll be talking about 2 kilograms, 3 kilograms, and thereabout. So, but at this stage, we are focusing at gram, 200 gram. If you apply too much, two things will happen. You waste your money, and eventually you might end up harming your oil palm, because when you put too much fertilizer, you might end up harming them. Another thing is that you don't apply fertilizer too close to the stem. Too close to the stem. You apply fertilizer at this stage. You apply fertilizer at about 0.3 meter or 0.5 meter outside the base, like 1 feet round, 1 feet away from the base before you can do your application. Just make sure you are not touching it. Do you get it? And another thing is that you don't apply when the soil is dry. I think I've said it before. And lastly but not the least, you don't apply when your farm is bushy. The first thing, if you know you're applying fertilizer next week, the first thing for you to do is to make sure you weed your farm, particularly in weeding. So with this, I've come to the end of today's topic, and I hope you got value one way or the other from today's topic. In case you're watching for the first time, my name is Laolu Shupalawa. I'm an agri consultant. I'm a farmer by training, by education, and by practice. And this channel is dedicated to promote sustainable and profitable agriculture. As an oil palm farmer, uh, assuming you are going into oil palm farming and oil palm processing next year, or you are already into it and you don't have a business plan, it's not good enough. I want to use this opportunity to tell you that I have a model business plan, a model oil palm farming and processing business plan that will guide your way through running your company, through running your farm. And you can also use it as a guidance and also to seek out for loan. At least you will know what it will cost you to establish your farm, to run your farm. Do you get it? Your yield projection, your return on the investment. And this business plan comes with 30 years return on investment projection. It has the SWOT analysis. It has all the equipment you need, how to set up the costing, and everything you need. Is an all-in-one business plan. And this is a perfect match for anybody that is serious-minded that wants to go into oil palm farming. So that is the business plan you are seeing on the book, on the screen. It's available on Seller. The one available on Seller is for 10-hectare model. So if you want me to do one for you, maybe 50 acre, 20 acre, 200 acre, 100 acre, we can also make a customized one for you. Just reach out to me through the number on your screen and we'll get it delivered to you. Thank you for your time and see you on the next one. Shishi.